And the problem I had was with the tracker. Now you can see it working here quite well. The actual hardware for the tracker is absolutely brilliant. It's solid, it's well made. But to send the GPS signal down, they recommended putting one of their little video overlay modules in the plane. Not only are they quite expensive, but they ran hot and broke often. So I moved over to this arrangement where the base station is pretty simple. It's just basically power supply, recording video and a retransmitter to your goggles. And the GPS coordinates come down from the radio and are Bluetoothed to the module via this module here in blue. You'll see it here. That picks up the signal from a Crossfire receiver, which retransmits the telemetry into it. This worked really well. And but this year I had obviously made some sort of change on the settings and I could not get the tracker to work properly. It was jittering all over the place, so I went over Wakefield Common, put the Mini Talon number 2 up and just let it loiter while I was working on the tracker. So I was more concentrating on the tracker than the plane. And while the plane took off beautifully, returned to launch, but then in loiter it started doing this climbing and then diving down. So this is going into the wind. No, crosswind is diving down, and it's, you see it jogging to the side there, then back into wind, and it starts climbing again, and it gets worse and worse. See, it's almost stalling at that point and then dropping back down, and it goes so far over it actually has to go to the left quite considerably to get onto track. So I took over at this point. This is me manually taking control. I've got the headset on by now, and I just flew around and it flew pretty nicely. The plane was responding well. Yeah, I was very happy with the plane, doing everything I wanted. It was a joy to fly, really. I was throwing it around a bit here, trying to get the tracker to pick up the signal properly, and it just wasn't. It was jittering. Literally the tracker was going left, right, left, right, left, right, jittering. And it got so bad that I actually lost signal. I'll show you here in a moment. So I'm just passing myself here. That's me on the left. And the tracker was trying to get in position, just wasn't doing it. It's very odd. So here's me going off, and I'm only a few hundred meters off from where I am sitting. So for 1.3 gigahertz transmission, that's nothing. It's like being in the same room. So I'm travelling off across this field, and here's what I'm seeing in the headset. And because of the jittering, I start getting this break up, really bad break up. And it's cutting, and that's in time with the jittering, and then I lose the signal altogether. I wait for a moment, see if it comes back. It doesn't, so I have to hit return for home. So I spent the whole of that evening working on the tracker. Oh yeah, I had another attempt at a launch, and because I had the radio around my neck at this point, when I launched, my coat actually caught onto the disarm switch. Very short launch. Didn't cause any real damage though. Just popped the gimbal off. So here's me at another site doing tracking problems, and this is actually a recovered file for the reasons you'll see later. So there may be some glitches, and again I'm doing this loiter, and I'm just getting the ground station is now working quite well. It's tracking very reliably, but at this point I'm panicking about the plane because it got too close to the road there and it was heading down. So I took over control, and I'm flying line of sight here. So I take it further away from the field and put it into loiter, and this is what it does. It turns round and heads down. mind out for that dog. Bang, that dog got such a scare. But here's the gimbal after I worked on it, and it's pretty much destroyed. The SD card survived, and I put it through a recovery service to get the video out that you just saw. But yeah, bye bye gimbal. That was my Fimi handheld gimbal. So the plane was unflyable. So what do I do with motor and FC and everything from the plane, which was absolutely fine? So what I did was this. I bought myself a Dolphin frame again. I already have one that's running on 5.8, so I bought this kit from Hobby RC. It's my own design of symbol on there. I thought I'd make it look a little bit snazzy. So here's the Sunny Sky 2216 1250 kV motor. That's the V3 version, the posh one. Inside we got the Maytech F722WSC, I think it's called. It's been discontinued now, but it's a nice flight controller, a lot of supports, F7, and yeah, pretty good. And that's got the remote access, so you have the USB-C and the beeper on extension. Didn't really need it there. GPS in there, capacitor on the back just to cut down noise, and a 3 amp 12 volt Beck. Now I did that because in the front of this one I have a DJI Air unit, and so this is a HD, hence the Dolphin HD on the wing, and I've cut it so it just fits nicely there. 2 slices in the front hold the aerials. There's a 40 amp ESC on the bottom. All these main motor parts all come out the Talon, and it's running a Crossfire Nano Pro, which has the higher telemetry power, so you don't lose telemetry. The servos are Emax. They're coreless, digital and metal geared, so really nice servos. Not too bad a price, didn't go too expensive, but they're better than the cheapy 9-gram ones. It's a Cadex Polar camera, and I really like the picture from that, and it's also low light, so if you're finding yourself flying in low light, it's good. Got a 3D print on the front that allows me to put a Cadex Peanut in the front, and also I can fit my Firefly Q6 camera in the front as well, so I can ring the changes. And both of those I can run through GyroFlow, and if I take the telemetry off the FC, I can run GyroFlow.